How you doing, YouTube? Underworld 6667 here, coming at you with Yugi-News. I know it's been such a long time since I've actually done one of these episodes, so make sure you give it the thumbs up if you want to continue to see this kind of content. Let's start the intro. Good morning to wherever or whenever you're watching this video. My name is Underworld 6667 and this is Yu-Gi-Oh! News. We have had two YCSs happen since the September 1st ban list. What is going on? What's happening in the world today? Did I just wake up? Are we still playing the same game? Well, it seems to be like we kind of are. Dragons are still good. Dinos are still good. Insectors are still good. Heroes are still good. Windups are still good. Pretty much everything that you can think of is good. Right now, every single deck is fighting for that tier 1 spot. And so we turn our attention to YCS Coverage. YCS Coverage is our window into the future, window into the minds of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players everywhere. What is the hardest deck to beat? What is the best deck to play? As we can see by the YCS Coverage, a lot of decks are good to play, but what takes the top spot? First thing that we visit is YCS Toronto. Happened pretty much on the day of the new ban list. Of course, we had Josh Graham taking first place with his wind-up deck. Second place, in a shocker, Psychics take it, piloted by Jeff Jones. If we look at the top 16, as, well, let's face it, Konami never posts up the deck lists, or even the top 32 cut, they only posted up top 16, so that's what I can report. We have the top 16s with 5 spots as windups, 4 spots with E-Heroes, a lonely 2 spots with Dino Rabbits, accompanied with Geargias at 2, Dark Worlds, Psychics, and Burn taking up the lower end. Now, however, once we got all the way up to the top 4, we saw 2 windups, 1 Geargia, and 1 Psychics, ending up with top pairings as Psychics versus windups. One thing that we could see about this top 16 windups in mass demand, then followed up by E-Heroes. However, everything else seems to be a 1 of, 2 of, maybe, and thus brings us to our second YCS coverage. This happened just a short time ago, YCS Indy. In YCS Indy, we saw Junior Dorson win with his 6 Samurais. Now, looking at the top 32 cut, as YCS Indy was actually semi-better, still no deck list, however. We have the top spot going to 10 wind-up players, 5 Geargias, 3 Chaos Dragons, 2 Dark Worlds, and 1 ofs E-Heroes, Heretics, 6 Sams, Psychics, Machina Geartown, Insectors, Agent Fairies, Dino Rabbits, and Machina Gadgets. Some of the big hits of YCS Indy was the amount of Yugi-Tubers in the top 32. Now, I only know 3 of them. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure maybe some other ones are there. However, unfortunately, not a lot of comments on the Yugi-Tube scene, so I can't actually report what I don't know. We saw Billy Break, Havoc 41, top 32ing with his Insector build. Quite an upset, especially since everyone said Insectors were dead. Billy Break sneaks it in there by being just that good of a player. The next person, Jarrell Pro Winston, playing a form of Geargias, and going all the way to top 4, our very own Robbie M. Cole 40 Cole, playing his signature deck, Gadgets. Once again, looks to be a completely random top, but taking up the top tier or tier 1 spot, windups once again. However, being that it was a little more time for people to get the Geargia stuff, looks like Geargia's very popular deck and very powerful. Moving all the way over to Europe, YCS Sheffield. Now, what? What happened? There was a YCS? Well, who was the top 32? What was the top tier deck? Well, let's face it, this was a huge waste of time. This was a Battle Pack YCS extravaganza super duper awesomeness, where you open up 10 packs, build a random deck out of these 10 packs of cards, and then hopefully win a YCS. Now, why do I say this is the most disgusting sort of event? This is the only time you'll ever hear in a top 2 match. He won the final game by attacking with Botanical Lion and Exarion the Universe. Yeah. What a waste of time for 573 potential great players to win based on who pulls better, who luck sacks the most. Yes, I do understand that it does take some sort of skill. However, but let's face it, if you pull shitty, you're going to play shitty, which means you're going to lose shitty. Now, what can we look forward to this coming rest of the year? YCS Providence, Rhode Island in October, YCS Washington in November, and YCS Barcelona in December. What decks will be topping? Will windups continue their reign of top tierness? They won the first one, they lost the second. Will they win or lose the third? Not to mention the fourth and fifth. But let's go with the third first. Moving on to pack coverage. Return of the Duelist was released back in August. It has brought quite a number of new deck types like Girgias, not to mention the lovely Grand Soul that has gone whoop up in price ever since its release. However, there are a number of different archetypes in this actual set. Could it be that these archetypes just need a little bit more support in order to become a YCS champion, or at least a top 32 competitor? Well, only time will tell with the release of Abyss Rising, the Water Structure decks, so on and so forth. Moving onwards, we look at the Return of the Duelist Special Edition pack being released. Now, we've got the regular packs, we've got the Special Edition, now it's official, it's a mass release. Not to mention the tins that are going to be coming out very soon. Now in these Special Edition packs, you can get either TG Hyper Librarian or Acid Golem, one of which has been seeing a slight amount of play, and one of which has been winning YCSs. TG Hyper Librarian was really great in plants, so will the mass release of this turn the tides to be more of a synchro game, or will we continue to see some Exceed shenanigans? Moving on, we have a Realm of the Sea Emperor structure deck coming out, due to release October 16th. We actually did a full product coverage on Binder Blunders. If you want to take a look at that, the only place you really need to go is on the channel. One of the most big upsets that we have seen so far in the YugiTube community, well, not really an upset, more of a hooray, was the announcement of the Wave 1 tins. Now originally we had no idea. All we knew is we got Hanzo and Heretic Sun Dragon. Mediocre cards, not really seeing much play. So will they continue on with their release of these huge, dramatic cards like they did with Zenmains and Windup Rabbit? And then they started posting up hints. Hints about what comes in these tins of ours. Now on October 30th, we can look forward to paying $25 approximately for these $100 plus cards. What do you mean $100 plus cards? Hanzo and Sun Dragon Overlord aren't $100 plus dollars. Let me go over what they've released so far. Tin numero uno. Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord is in every single tin. It is the cover card. It is the guarantee. It was already seen. Next thing, Malefic Truth Dragon. Whoop-dee-dee! Everyone loves Malefic Truth Dragon, apparently. The next card, a 20, 25, 30, 35, somewhere around there, dollar card, Levier the Sea Dragon. That is good. Then we move on to the Vermin, Rescue Rabbit. Somewhere between 20, 30, 40, all the way up to about $80, I think, where it was maxing out. And last but not least, one mystery card, March 4th, with an invincible army. Most likely, a Mech Lord. Mech Lord Army of Granel, or Mech Lord Army of Weisel. Not very good, but still, who cares? You got a Rescue Rabbit, you've got a Levier the Sea Dragon to make your money back, automatic plus. $80 card, $30 card, that's $110 for 25 bucks. Not too bad. Plus you get 5 packs, a Sun Dragon Overlord, a Mech Lord Army. Whew, some good stuff in there. Now, here's where the good stuff comes in. Tin number 2. Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. Around $10, $15, $20. Not very good. But still, you only need to make $5 in the packs. But just wait. We've got the announcement of Max C. Somewhere between $40 to $80. I think it was pushing around $120 at one point. So that's a little bit of a plus. Number 16, Shockmaster. Shockmaster was hitting $40 to $60. $40 as soon as it got released. Then people went, hey, it's a good card. It only takes 3 level 4s of any type. Then we got the same thing in the other tin, but still in this tin, the possibly $80 gone down to about 30 bucks. Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit, very, very good card, which means it goes really good with the Dolka and Legia that were in the previous tins. So we're going to be seeing a lot more Dino Rabbit capabilities, especially since it's so easy to get. The last card, a mystery card once again, still not released, but I'm sure by the next time I do Yugi-News, I'll have something to report to you guys. To guide you to victory. That is the secret clue. Most people are going, it's probably going to be tour guide. But if you think about it, you already have Maxi, you already have Rescue Rabbit, you already have Shockmaster in this awesome tin. Do you really need a tour guide? So we're moving sort of towards the tour bus, probably being the reprint in this tin. However, if this is a tour guide from the Underworld, that would make it Rescue Rabbit, tour guide from the Underworld, Maxi, Hanzo, and a Shockmaster. I'm pretty sure the greatest tin you could ever purchase. These tins will fly off the shelves. You will have to do horrible things to horrible people in order to get one of these tins because they're disgustingly overpowered. However, if you look at the format right now, Tour Guide's not doing very well. It was already released in Battle Pack. Rescue Rabbit is mediocre. It's still a really powerful deck, but because Tour Guide got limited and all that kind of fun stuff, still kind of difficult. Shockmaster, very, very good card. Very, very popular this format. That's probably the best reason to buy these tins. Hanzo, whatever, it's a Hanzo. And last but not least, Max C. What kills windups? Max C. What kills special summon, special summon, special summon? Max C. So that might be a good thing. We're going to be seeing a lot more inherent special summons, possibly a lot more E-heroes, that kind of thing. Let's slow it down a little bit, not so crazy. Maxis are going to be very, very important in this format because there is a lot of decks that can go crazy. The next product that we're going to be talking about is Legendary Collection 3. Comes out October 2nd, so probably by the time you view this video, it's probably already out on your store shelves. Comes with a really, really good assortment of really good cards from the old ages. However, there are a lot of shite. And let's face it, you're paying for 5 packs plus a whole bunch of little tiny bit of garbage that are dollar stuff. So let's say 5 packs, $30 plus tax maybe. So that means $6 per pack where you can get 1 secret, 1 ultra, 1 super, 1 rare, and I think 5 commons. So the fact is there are 58 secrets. There are 48 ultras. There are 42 supers. There are 36 rares, and they are 122 commons. This is not one of those packs where you buy a box and you're able to pull everything. This is not one of those packs where you buy a case and you can pull everything. You may be able to, don't get me wrong. But it's going to be a raw mega yellow pack. It's going to be a legendary collection. It's going to be one of those things where you're not going to be able to invest money into this set. You're not going to be able to invest money. I know that there are good cards. However, because the cards are mediocre at the moment, the fact that it's reprinted in this set and it's so easy to pull in this set makes this set kind of low priced, which means you're probably not going to be able to make your money back if you're consistently buying these legendary collections. I may be wrong. The BLSs could be coming out like clockwork, only for you, and then you can sell them. However, if they're coming out for clockwork for you, that means everyone else is getting them, which means nobody wants them, which means no money. This may be a good way to pimp out your deck. There are a lot of holo cards, there are a lot of cool looking cards that are going to be coming out of this set. However, this will not, and I repeat, this will not be a good way to make money. This will be a good way to pimp out your deck. Some of the things I did want to mention, there are Ultra Gravekeepers. Very good. You've got Recruiter in there. You got Commandant for those who can't afford the ultimate one. You got BLS as a secret. A lot of people are looking at Blackluster Soldier, a common. Yeah, Blackluster Soldier. He's also blue and stupid. Last but not least, we have the holo old stuff. A lot of the stuff is from the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. A lot of the stuff is recreating Yugi's deck and Kaiba's deck and this deck and that deck. It's It's going to be really cool to have, but it's not going to make you a lot of money. There are not enough demand for this product for you to be continuously buying them and then be able to sell them very easily. And thus concludes my very first episode coming back into Yugi-News. Remember, if you like this kind of content, please give it the thumbs up. Share it. Let people know where you found out about your Yugi-News. And as always, I know this is a different show, but it's my catchphrase, don't make those binder blunders.